Good morning, everyone. This is Sajin Piske from Electrical Engineering Department, SND College of Engineering and Research Center. In the previous lecture, we discussed some point related to PLC system and the components which are basically used to assemble the PLC system. Now we are moving towards the various types of switches. In that, a very useful switch is limit switch. So ongoing the limit switch, where is its application and how it performs its working and principle we are discussing here. So the presence sensing is the act of detecting the presence or absence of an object with a contact or non-contact sensing devices. The sensor then produces an electrical output signal that can be used to control the equipment or processes. Mechanical limit switches are contact sensing devices widely used for detecting the presence or position of objects in electrical or industrial applications. The term limit switch is derived from the operation of the device itself as the object, or sometimes it may called as a target, makes the contact with the operator of the switch, and it eventually moves the actuator to the limit where the electrical contacts change its state. Though this mechanical action, electrical contacts are either open in a normal closed circuit or closed in a normal open circuit. Inductive proximity or capacitive proximity and photoelectric sensor perform this same process through non-contact sensing. Now we are moving towards the typical limit switch and its application. So it can be used in almost any of the industrial environment, very precise in terms of accuracy, very precise in terms of repeatability. It consumes a little electrical energy. Also, it can switch load with high inductance. It can control the multiple load. There are some limitations of these limit switches, just as generally restricted to equipment operating at relatively low speed. It must make the direct contact with target. And lastly, the moving mechanical part will wear out, means wear and tear will happen in between the object and limit switch. Some limit switch terminology is also there. So there is some point, let us see one by one. Pre-travel. So what is pre-travel? The distance or the angle that the actuator must go through to trip the contact. Second, operating point, the position of the actuator at which the contact snap to the operated position. Then a release point. The release point in case of this limit switch is the position of the actuator at which the contact return to their original state. Then differential. So the distance or degree, we can say it is degree also. So the distance between the contact trip and the contact recedes. Then over travel. Previously we see the pre-travel. Now here is the over travel. So the movement of the actuator beyond the contact trip point. Then initial position. So that the position of the actuator when no external force is applied to the actuator, and operating force, that is the force required to move the actuating element to a particular point. One more point is there, that is total travel. So previous travel plus after travel or over travel is equals to total travel, the maximum allowable distance that the actuating element can travel. And repeat accuracy means ability of a switch to repeat its characteristic precisely from one operation to the next operation. Now, what is actuator or operating head in case of the limit switches? The actuator is basically the part of the switch which physically comes in the contact with the target. In some limit switch, the actuator is attached to an operating head which translates a rotor linear or perpendicular motion to open or close the electrical contact of the switch. The component containing the electrical contact mechanism. Now, some terminals are there. That is the component containing the terminal screw or clamp assembly necessary for wiring purposes. While there are a number of different styles of the limit switches available in the market today, and this manual will describe two different classes of the limit switch. One is standard industrial alignment switch, and second one is the precision switch. So industrial switches include these two types of the limit switches, and these switches are usually not operator accessible. Instead, they are activated by moving the parts on the machine. They are usually mechanical switches but can also be light activated, such as the automatic door opener, or it is used by the stores or supermarkets, or magnetically operated, such as the magnetic switches used on home security system that senses when a window has been opened. For example, a mechanically operated switch or limit switch is the switch on the refrigerator door that turns on the light inside. They are sometimes called cam switches because many of the operated by a camming action when a moving part passes by the switch. The symbol for both types of the limit switch are shown in figure. The NO version, that is normally open version, is on the left, and normally closed version is on the right side. And one of many type of limit switches is shown in our picture. Thank you.